Today we're going to be reading a generic self-help book. Well, it's more than that. No, it isn't. Yeah, it is, and you better listen up. They've been calling this a classic, a way to find the freedom to be you and never mask it. It's called The Four Agreements. Let's start with the first one. Wait, where's the context? Don't I deserve some? Okay, hold on, let me backtrack. This book is by Don Ruiz. Now, who's that? He's a surgeon and an author with a new age philosophy. Sounds like woo-woo. Is this really necessary? Well, anyway, this book's heavily praised and well acclaimed, focusing on the agreements that we need to maintain. What are these agreements? Is the government involved? No, not at all. More like code we've installed, like software code. Exactly, it helps us progress or it leads to our downfall. So we gotta find the old agreements, put them to an end. The ones that hold you back or the ones that make you pretend. There's really four that we need to keep in mind in defense. So without further ado, let's begin. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your word. The most important yet so difficult to preserve. Words are like spells you cast onto others. Dishonesty sounds like a ripoff of Harry Potter. Another way to see it is your opinion of someone else. They may internalize to be true about themselves. If it's hurtful words that you tend to use, well, it'll hit you back in the form of self-abuse. The relationship that you have with your word determines how much love that you think you deserve. To be impeccable, be conscious of your actions, but don't be too critical if you fall into distraction. Do what you can to refrain from any gossip. It's poison in your veins and you know you gotta stop it. It seems benign, but it spreads like a virus. The antidote you need is a little bit of kindness. Couldn't you clean that bugger out with Norton head virus or something? Well, if only it was that easy. When you spread a rumor, it actually affects both parties. Here's a visual that Miguel uses to illustrate this point. One side of the sword we have a spell, and the other side is the truth. So we need to release ourselves from the spell by reminding ourselves not to accept that rumor. What if it affects you? Well, in that case, don't take it personal. Even in those times when it feels painful, whatever they say, it's not essential. They may be jealous or a little too resentful. It goes in one ear and not the other. It doesn't register, it doesn't even bother. So what they say about you has nothing to do with you, and more about themselves and what they really believe to be true. So if someone just insults me to my face, I should just let it slide? Oh, no big deal, just don't take it personally. Well, if they continue to do it and they're someone close to you, then you should definitely tell them how it makes you feel. But what Miguel is saying is that we shouldn't react strongly to anything negative someone says about us, because by doing so, we're accepting their opinion as the truth. And most of the time, we don't even know what people are going through. Based on the third agreement, we don't want to make assumptions of anyone we come across or any close connection. We assume that others view the world in the same way that we do, misinterpreting each other when the arguments ensue. For this reason alone, we gotta ask a lot of questions until we see the nuances in each other's perceptions. Once we reach a point of understanding, our bias to each other will slowly start disbanding. Are you confident in that? Yeah, I am. Let's zoom out for a second, see the global issues at hand. Black and white thinking dominates the media space, making us forget how we're connected in the human race. If we take a step back and see the bigger picture, we realize how similar we are to one another. But at the same time, we also make assumptions of ourselves. What do you mean by that? Well, we tend to reject ourselves and feel that we're not deserving of the love and respect that we've been yearning. That's why we need to focus on reflection, write down our thoughts, we can break down these assumptions. What about the fourth agreement? Always do your best, nothing more, nothing less. Sounds rather cliche, but if you apply it to these first three, you'll experience heaven on earth and set yourself free. Free from what? All the agreements that hold you back. I doubt that. Well, I'm going to put these into practice and show you. Shouldn't you be working harder than your best? Not at the expense of my health and well-being. Sounds like an excuse. Well, you know what? As we talked about, that's your opinion, so I don't care what you say. Oh, I almost took that personally for a second. Now we don't want to do that, do we? You know what? You can joke about it, but it's actually going to make a difference in my life. Well, I wish you the best. Well, I don't really need your wish because I always do my best. Oh, look at this guy with his new agreement. Oh, wow. Yeah, I'm stoked. It's going to change everything. But definitely not the beliefs about yourself, though. We'll see about that. That seems like a reach.